Today we're going to go through the third grade homeschool curriculum from All-in-One Curriculum. This includes math, science, language arts, and social studies. I want to mention that our curriculum has a flexible format. You're seeing the printed version today, but our curriculum is actually digital first. You can use it fully online or print it out, whatever works best for your family. It's instantly available after purchase, so there's no waiting. We have no subscriptions or hidden fees. You pay once and you have lifetime access. That's it. There's no monthly charges, no required add-ons. As I mentioned, we have a very flexible format. You can use it on screen with any PDF reader like Adobe, or through platforms like Google Drive, Google Classroom, or Lumen PDF, which we give you access to for free. We have a partnership with Lumen. They've been fantastic to us and our customers. It's just a PDF reader and you can write on it and it'll save automatically. It's very helpful for parents that don't want to use Google. However, Google is amazing and we love our curriculum on Google Drive or Google Classroom. You can also print it out like I'm going to show you today. I also want to mention as we're going through this that we have a lot of hands-on learning. This looks like a bunch of worksheets, but our curriculum includes science experiments, outdoor activities, journaling prompts, creative projects, presentations. The whole point is to keep kids learning and engaged. We also include a parent teaching guide with each subject. It walks you through what to do each day. We include answers, teaching tips, key points to emphasize, so you always feel confident. And then I also want to mention this is great for households with multiple children because once you purchase a grade, you have it for a lifetime. So you can reuse the curriculum for more than one child in your household. We update the content every year, so you know you're always getting the most current version. Let's start with third grade language arts. We usually ask parents to get a writing journal with language arts. We have some writing prompts and things like that. You can do it on the curriculum itself, but also it's really nice for students to have their own writing notebook. And also it's really great for portfolios if you're going to do that. So here's our table of contents. We have 180 lessons in each one of our subjects. I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm going to skip through a bit. You can view all of these samples on our website more in depth. Just go to www.allinonecurriculum.com and then go to the grade that you are most interested in and scroll down. And then there are samples there of both the parent teaching guide and the student workbook. So this is the first lesson. Welcome to third grade language arts. We're talking to the student about nouns, vocabulary words. There's little activities within the lesson. We try to keep our lessons fairly short. We don't feel the need to have, 30 minutes to an hour of lessons every single day on a single subject. We do, however, have a lot, like I said, a lot of hands-on learning. So, outdoor activities, like there might be a journaling prompt for them to go outside and write about what they're seeing. And so that is part of how we get kids excited about learning and not, on a computer all day or not in front of a workbook all day. Go over simple sentences. We have some worksheets, quizzes. We do have quizzes and assessments throughout. We also include all reading material in our curriculum. I think that's really important to note. There's no requirement for you to go out and buy additional books or go to the library unless you want to. I think that's really helpful, especially for families with multiple kids or in rural areas. It's harder to get to, let's say, a library or a bookstore. So again, reading material is included. There's comprehension questions. We go over capitalization rules, punctuation marks, narratives, vocabulary quizzes. Conjunctions, So that's the first 20 lessons. I only printed 20 lessons today, as I felt like that was plenty to kind of walk you through a quick view of our curriculum. But as I said, you can view all samples on our website by going to www.allinonecurriculum.com and then clicking on the grade that you're interested in. So here's the parent teaching guide. Key points to emphasize, really important. One of the things I love about our curriculum is that, and then how to help your student. You know, it might have been a while since you were teaching nouns or learning about nouns and plural nouns and singular nouns and common and proper. So we kind of give you a brief overview just as a refresher. And I think that's really helpful, especially if you're teaching multiple kids. It's just a lot of information on the parent. So I think this is really helpful. You know, I spend about 5 minutes reading through the parent teaching guide before my students start for the day, and it's just so helpful. If students have a question, I'm not a deer in headlights, which is the point of the parent teaching guide. We also obviously provide the answer key, vocabulary words. We also include some additional ways to help your student, like ask open-ended questions about things. I do that not always, but it's helpful on times when I know that the kids are struggling with a subject or a concept. So it's really helpful. Sometimes I just don't know, you know, I feel like I'm lost. And I think most parents feel that every once in a while. I've been doing it a long time. I still feel that way. You know, it's nice to have those resources for the parent. So social studies, again, 180 lessons. We include quizzes, like I said, assessments throughout. Sometimes we don't include, for social studies, for example, this is not one in particular, but we don't do a lot of quizzes. Instead, we do activities and questions, like think and respond questions at each lesson. So it really depends on the grade level. We don't want to be over testing the kids. So, so sometimes, you know, that's helpful. So this is an example of a hands-on activity, a weather diary. For 1 week, write down the weather you see each day in your social studies notebook. Was it sunny, rainy, or snowy? You know, stuff like that is really helpful for students to really understand what they're learning, and really make it a real-world experience for them. I know we have a lot of fun with the activities in our household. Another activity. Activities. And, you know, you don't always have to do all the activities. You can choose one if you don't have enough time that day, or, you know, you're just not, the child's not feeling it. That's, again, the beauty of homeschooling, which I really like, is that you can choose what works best for you and your student. Here's social studies. And then the parent teaching guide, again, the key points to emphasize, how to help your student, activity, and then answer key. Learning about compass roses and creating maps. And again, these are just the first 20 lessons. If you'd like to see more, you can obviously go to our website. We'll go into science next. We always recommend having science notebooks, social studies notebooks, writing notebooks. So usually we request you to have those for your students. And it's fun, you know, to at the beginning of this school year, you know, decorate it and make it kind of a fun activity for the kids. We've got chapter tests and all of those things again. Here's our science curriculum. Go through organisms and cells, some think and respond questions at the end. So if you were using this on a computer, you would just put your cursor into where this line is and then type your answer, put an X, or write the answer in. Obviously, if you're printing it, you would just put a P or an A where it's required, or an X, whatever it asks you to do. You would just write that in. But it's very easy to use digitally, and we will be doing a video soon on how to use our curriculum digitally. So if you're interested in that, we should have that on our YouTube channel fairly soon, if it's not there already by the time you're watching this video. Chapter reviews. I'm going every few pages here. Don't want to take up too much of your time. Optional activities. This is a really fun thing to do, especially in science, just to go on a nature walk. It's so amazing what you'll see if you're actually looking for it. And students are really, it's really fun to walk with your child and have them, you know, point things out that you might not normally see if you weren't learning about these concepts. So that's a really fun activity. Again, parent teaching guide, key points to emphasize, how to help your student, question and answers, you know, what your student is learning today. Again, I just use this as a quick 5-minute read through in the mornings before the kids get started, and that is really helpful for me. How you use the parent teaching guide is obviously up to you, but that's how I use it, and it's very, very helpful. Science experiments, and there we go. And then we'll go into math. One thing I want to mention is that we've been around for a very long time, so we've got a lot of resources for you in terms of YouTube videos, maybe not that we have produced, but that, you know, can teach a concept that your student might be struggling with. This curriculum was first copyrighted in 2009, so we've been around a while, and we've got a lot of resources. So if you decide that your student is really struggling with a concept and you would like help, please reach out to our team. We are happy to help explain anything to you or to your student. We're also happy to send you some YouTube videos that might be helpful for a particular concept that they might be struggling with. We've got all of those resources at our fingertips, so we are happy to help you if you ever have those needs. We don't include them all with the curriculum. It's just, it would be a little too much. But again, if your student is struggling with something or you need help. And I will say that our team, even though we are a small family-run business, our team is very good at getting back to customers within 1 to 3 hours, even on weekends. We have people on the East Coast, we have people on the West Coast. So we kind of run the gamut there. And so our team is checking email and our chat messages frequently. We also have a really great Facebook community. So once you purchase a curriculum, you can add yourself to that. It is only for people that have purchased our curriculum. We had it open to others before that. There was just too many questions not related to the curriculum itself. So we limited that just to people that have purchased it, and it's actually a phenomenal community because it's just families talking about the curriculum and asking questions. And if we don't get back to you within 20 minutes or 30 minutes, it's a great place to go and ask for help. So we're going through, there's a lot of practice questions here. Written form, really important, especially in the younger grades. So if you were using this on the computer, there would be a section here where you could just put your cursor and write in. Same thing here. So obviously this is the printed version where you would just write, in these boxes. But for the digital version, it's very easy to write in. Again, these are just the first 20 lessons. So if you would like to see more samples or more in-depth samples, you can go to our website or email our team. If you have specific questions, we are happy to help. You can email us at info@allinonecurriculum.com. Again, we try to respond within a few hours. You can also use our online chat. It will ask for your email address. It's just if we're not around to answer your question, we can email you if you're no longer in the chat window. So that's really helpful. Again, the parent teaching guide, key points to emphasize, real world applications, observation walks. Again, it's, games, crafting patterns. It's just ways to get the student interested in what they're learning in the real world. We obviously have the answer keys. There you go. We know how much your heart goes into homeschooling and how overwhelming, it can all feel to find the right curriculum. So if you have any, like I said, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. Read our reviews on our website. Those are all verified reviews. So we use a third-party system who verifies all of the reviews on our website. It's only people that have used our curriculum and purchased our curriculum. So it's really helpful to read through those. We've also got some reviews on YouTube from families that have used our curriculum. We just want to reiterate, you don't have to be an expert to homeschool. You just need the right tools. And I hope that this curriculum will help you in your homeschooling journey. It sure has helped us in our homeschooling journey. We want to be as helpful as we can and not break the bank. So thanks for spending a few minutes with me today. If you'd like to see more or try a sample, you can go to our website. We're here for you, and we'd love to be part of your homeschooling journey. Thank you so much.